I've been thinking about the purpose of academia, why school matters, and why certain classes or disciplines are prioritized over others. After reflecting on the courses I've taken and looking at departments at universities, I think there are fundamentally three domains of knowledge that schools try to teach, which for the sake of this video, I will describe as different types of truth. The first is objective and quantitative truth. Disciplines under this category have a goal of discovering objective facts. They build on axioms or accepted self-evident statements using measured, calculated metrics and methods to create a verifiable picture of the world. The best example of this is a math class, where you use reasoning alone to derive conclusive rules of quantity and number from first principles. Although the very notion of an objective truth is contested, mathematical conclusions are the closest things we have to undoubtable and fundamental facts of the universe, and the very goal of math and science is to learn about facts that are as close to objective as possible. Second is normative and qualitative truth. Disciplines like literature and art more broadly fall into this category and try to explain qualitative and often subjective issues such as justice and meaning and beauty and right and wrong. These disciplines often focus less on facts and statistics, and instead use devices such as imagery, stories, characters, and archetypes, so they are in a different category of truth-seeking than disciplines like math. Finally, the third type of truth is an understanding of established social and technological structures. Disciplines regarding this type of truth teach you the norms and tools of your craft or of the world, so you can utilize them properly. Every field has their own practices and norms to some extent, whether it's a standard formatting of papers or universal business etiquette. But a good example of a class that falls almost entirely into this category is the foreign language class. Language itself is a social structure, and learning how to utilize it teaches you how to participate in the world. Although I've highlighted topics that really fit into one of the three categories, all academic disciplines, to some degree, fall into more than one, and this is how I think some of the other topics fall into this triangle. I first started thinking about this because I was feeling unmotivated at school and thought that a bird's eye view approach would help me better understand why each of my classes are important. But more broadly, determining the goals of different academic disciplines is important for three main reasons. First, it defines what it means to be a sufficiently skilled and educated citizen. Based on the categories of the triangle, the goals that schools instill in their students, at least in theory, are the expansion of knowledge, quantitative and/or qualitative, and the ability to use and navigate established social structures. 2. It helps us visualize academia's, and more broadly, humanity's, structure of accumulated knowledge. It provides a clean organizational structure for different fields, highlights connections between them, and demonstrates the importance of each one, especially in conjunction with one another. Without the first type of truth, we wouldn't have any measured and calculable ways of seeing the world. Without the second type of truth, we would lose the ability to identify what is meaningful and moral to guide our decisions. Without the last type of truth, our knowledge of the world would remain inaccessible and unapplied to practical mechanisms. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, the triangular structure can help us evaluate the health of our knowledge-gathering systems and the quality of academia in general. On an individual level, this means that if a course isn't helpful in fulfilling the goals of education, it might be worth dropping it. On an institutional level, if a particular school or curriculum abandons one area of truth in its approach to expanding knowledge, such an approach is likely unbalanced and ineffective. On even a discipline-wide level, we can determine if a particular field of academia is being effectively furthered. If, for example, a field has a goal of uncovering objective and statistical truth claims, but disproportionately relies on methods that are not empirical nor mathematic, such an incongruency can be easily identified using the triangle diagram. With the landscape of education and research ever-changing, remembering and constantly reevaluating, the objectives of academia is of utmost importance. Let me know your thoughts, ideas, or disagreements, and subscribe if you want to see similar content.